Hey everyone, welcome to Extreme Bronco Live Wednesday night edition. Hopefully you can hear us. If you can, tell us you can hear us just fine. How are you, Miss Becky?
I'm great.
So you're back from your Texas adventure.
I am.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about the Bronco, the 2023 Heritage Edition Bronco, and also painted MIC tops. So painted tops in general, between the painted hard tops from the factory and then people taking MIC tops and painting them gloss black. What do you think about that? Or even white, for example.
I like the white, honestly.
Hopefully everyone can hear us tonight here. You know, we did have that technology issue last night. How are we looking over there on your side?
Last week?
Last week, actually.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
It was kind of crazy. Thanks to everyone that was guest, Tim and Dave and you and Kelly down in Texas. Y'all carried the show while I was over here just bouncing around trying to figure it all out.
We were kind of MIA quite a bit.
I was MIA. So anyway, tonight we're going to talk a little bit about everything, I guess. All right, Texas Off-Roadeo. What did you expect versus what did you experience when you were there?
Okay, so I guess I kind of had the insider track on that because you had been last year, so I got to see all of the footage and hear about it. So I was expecting fabulous things. It was great. Nothing short of great. The only thing that I would change is last year you guys got 2 days and we only got one. So everything was very condensed.
Yeah, and the idea,
I had more time.
Right, and the idea was we had 2 days, but they were 2 half days. So you had a full day. So do you think still maybe we were able to cram more into those 2 half days?
I'm wondering if you did.
Yeah, because we did do the fun haver track at the end.
Right. We didn't get to do that because we were very short on time at the end. It was very condensed and consolidated, but the experience was just wonderful.
Yeah. And if you in our intro, you'll see where we got a little spirited in the Bronco there. We're making a hard right.
Yep. I remember that track.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So that was very cool. All right. Do you know more about, are you more confident in the Bronco, driving the Bronco now off-road when we go off-roading than you were? Say when we head to the Outer Banks. Driving down the beach we've talked about that, next to the water and the wet sand, it's no big deal.
It's easy.
But when we go, back up in the neighborhoods and we do some of the loose sand over the dunes and stuff, are you better prepared?
I'm way better prepared than I was previously. I feel way more confident.
So Bronco Off-Roadeo helped?
Yes, it did.
So yeah, and I think there's a big thing, and by the way, and I didn't go to the back end of YouTube here and do all of my credentials. I just remembered that. So I think we've got a little low turnout. If everyone, if you could hit the like button that's here. I think there's eight or nine of you here. When we set up these streams, we always go, there's always something on a stream. And the difference between me and a lot of people is I'm honest with all the little stuff. I do a lot. I have a lot of stuff on my mind during the day, and live stream is something that's like, dang it, each week I forgot that one thing. So anyway, hopefully this week you can hear us. Hey, Dirk Connor, what's going on? Pez Head 123. Hello, what's happening? 4 high, 4 low. Hello, good evening to you as well. Becky's Ponies. Who the heck is that?
Oh, that's
you. Troll, internet troll. You got to watch that comments from that. So your trail guide, and so you were a guest of Kelly Boyd with All Terrain Nation.
Yes. Kelly and I had a great time.
And hello, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly. You're watching.
Yep. And then Shelby Hall was your trail guide.
Yes.
Now, how cool was that to have the one and only Shelby Hall?
That was really cool. And not to mention, Kelly and I got to lead the herd, so to speak, on the trail. It was pretty neat. And then Shelby was our guide. It was just an amazing experience.
Yeah. I mean, that's funny. Shelby Hall's in the back seat and you're just cruising. And you're like, she should be driving and we should be hanging on for dear life, right?
It was so fun.
Hey, Dr. Detroit, hello. You have some news I think you posted, or why don't you post it here? Also, Bronco 78, what's going on?
Hey.
Hello. We need to drive south and have lunch at some restaurant that we all don't want to go to until we eat there and figure out it's good. You remember that?
Yeah. Actually, we need to all plan a meeting at Winrock in Tennessee.
We need to
That
do
would
that.
be fun.
Yeah, Windrock would really be cool. So Bronco 78 knows what I'm talking about there. It's like you go to a restaurant and you're like, I don't know about this place, and then you leave and you're that's
That
like
was the best food ever.
best food I ever had. Thank goodness. So yeah,
Don't discount those little holes in the wall.
especially when they catch the trout
I
in
think
the
in
back of on the property.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's true.
It
Well,
was
no, I
amazing.
know that's
It
what
was
they said.
amazing.
Yeah,
Really,
so
it was so good.
not unless that's one of those little fish stories.
It could be a fish story, but it was delicious.
It wasn't frozen trout. That I will tell you.
Whatever it was, or wherever it came from, it was good.
So Dr. Detroit received his window sticker for the BRAP.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
We
Dr.
haven't gotten
Detroit,
everything.
I actually called the dealer yesterday and I said, listen, please tell me I haven't made anybody there mad. And they're like, no, everything's fine. There's just been no news there. So there's 2 Raptors coming, allocated to that dealer. Neither one of them has been picked up yet. I think there's an Everglades that it's not even been picked up yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah, that's a 9/1 blend date. Oh, that's interesting. So we have a car show here, and this happened last year.
Is it November?
September, November. I think it's November.
I thought it was November last year.
So we have to submit our application to see if they want the vehicles in it.
Right. I saw.
Remember all that, and you're supposed to have the vehicle. So can you send your little snapshot from Ford and say, hey, I don't really know. But anyway, we're going to submit it. And if it's not here, we'll just pay for a vehicle that's not going to be in the show against their better judgment. But
we can just do the 2 that we have.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we'll take the Mustang
they're the same.
too.
Yeah, you could do the Mustang.
Yeah, we're going to try to set the whole deal up. We don't want to spill the beans yet, but we do want to do something there. But anyway, congratulations to you, Dr. Detroit. That is good.
Yeah. 8/1 blend date. That's next week. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No glasses. I get it now. I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, wait a minute. I have mine on. Yeah. 8/1. Well, that's even better.
That's awesome.
Good deal. And I can't wait. And did you see the picture of MAP, Michigan Assembly Plant? There's a lot of Bronco Raptors physically built. Now, whether they're finished or not, maybe they have to go to the mod shop for. Well, I know they go to the mod shop because the suspension, the way the Bronco Raptors built on the line, it's actually sits a little lower. There's a shock mount that they have to rotate down when they build it so it clears, and then when it leaves, that shock mount gets adjusted, raised up so it's the proper height.
Right.
Anyway, so I know it leaves the line and goes to someone else's set of hands there to be technically finished. The question is, are they going to ship them by rail or are they going to be specialized freight? I haven't figured that out yet. The destination charge is the same price. So
one of our watchers got it recently. Wasn't it gone in 60?
What's that?
He got a Bronco Raptor?
No. No one's received one yet.
Oh, I thought someone had recently.
No one's received one yet. So
I'm misunderstanding that.
Yeah. So anyway, a lot of cool stuff there. But one of the things I want to talk to you about is this, and we're going to we're going to kind of dive back and forth into your stuff. The 2023 Bronco Heritage Edition. So first of all, you've seen I dropped a video about an hour ago where we did our take, like others have done their take on it. And, a couple of different things. So the biggest, it looks like, and if this all pans out, this will be the first trim with a factory painted hardtop. So that's going to be very, very cool. The other thing is the Everglades-ish fenders, the squared off fenders is going to have those. Custom grill with the Ford script in the grill. Who knows what is inside it? I don't know if they're going to modify the interior, like the interior finish, like, you have mid, high, luxe. The Everglades, for example, has a 12-inch screen, but it's a mid-grade. It's a mid-package, I should say. And that's not something you can get in any other mid-package. So is it going to be the high package or is it going to be luxe or a combination or is it a special blend?
Let's just hope that they're including more cup holders in the back for it.
Well, it depends on the interior. If it's marine-grade vinyl, it's not. But if it's leather, it will. Yeah.
I still don't get that.
So,
I guess I kind of
the wet areas type thing and stuff like that.
You need those cup holders. They need to tweak that in the back.
Yeah, cup holders would be nice, but what do you think? What engine will be? Oh, and by the way, I don't know if it's breaking news, but I saw it tonight for the first time myself. It looks like there's going to be 2 Heritage Edition Broncos.
Oh,
There's going to be a Heritage, and what was the other one that I said? A Heritage Lux, maybe? Or anyway, there's 2 Heritage. I'm actually going to do a video on it, I think, tomorrow. So that's going to definitely, and you know, who knows? I talked about the wheels. I can't believe those wheels will be the only wheels that is on the Heritage Edition, because I mean, they're cool. Don't get me wrong. They're good and cool and retro, but I really think that something with a real big pop on there is going to really, you know, it's a different set of wheels. There's going to be more wheels, right, than the one. And if that's all they have, that's cool. You know, the different colors. Are there going to be colors just set aside just for the Heritage?
I would suspect yes.
Right. Just to make it sort of like the Code Orange for the
and the Everglades.
Yeah, the desert sand.
Yeah.
So desert sand on that as well. And you know, there's a Heritage Limited. There you go. Pezhead, great job. Thank you. So the Heritage and the Heritage Limited. And then there was the Oats Bronco. And it's like, what's the Oats thing? It's kind of such an odd name. I'm thinking it's the Bronco DR, which is that racer, couple $100,000.
Oh, wow.
They're going to build 50 of them. It's
super
off-road.
Spicy.
It's, yeah, absolute V8, by the way, but it's it's off-road only.
V8,
it's,
for sure?
It's an Ultra 4 racer.
Ooh.
I mean, so you could buy this and, you know, obviously little safety stuff. You could go racing.
Cool.
That would be you, right?
I would love
especially after Texas.
But no, the problem is we just don't have anywhere to utilize that.
Yeah.
You get all of that horsepower and all of that spunk and nowhere to take it without going to jail for a free night stay.
Right. So here you go. Dr. Detroit said he agrees on the cup holders. So she needs someone else to agree with her, because I'm always just like not agreeing with her.
Hey, Dave from Altering Nation.
No, actually, I do agree with you on the cup holders. It'd be cool.
You know what? It's just not practical. I find myself in the Bronco now, even just being in the front, putting extra drinks and stuff in the little side panels with the mesh or the what do you call it? The netting.
The netting.
Yeah. Because there's nowhere else to put them. Or I might get really creative depending on what I have. Like if I have my big water bottle, is opening the console and sticking it down in there. But then you have the obstacle of the console being open when you're trying to drive. It's not practical at all as far as the cup holders go.
Maybe you ought to just leave the drinks in the cooler in the back. And
nope. I mean, depending on where you're going, you need a drink accessible, especially on a long road trip. I mean, come on.
Gotcha. So Jessica Dunn, hey, what's going on?
Jessica.
Welcome. 8/1/22 blend date for my not a Raptor Squatch Bronco. Well, congratulations. That is awesome. I can't wait for you to get it. You know, these things are such awesome machines. I was driving mine today, and it was like the first day again. I did the video, you know, and as I was leaving, I was like, man, this is just, it's like Christmas in July, literally. But congratulations on that, Jessica. That's awesome. I can't wait for you to get it, because totally a cool thing. And Dave, what's going on? All Terrain Nation, what's happening? Getting off to a slow start tonight, Dave. What's up, man? You need to get the comments going. Help spice up the show tonight. No pressure on you. Let's see. A cooler is a better plan. Yeah, see?
Speaking of a cooler, you know, Range Rover did, while you lost your storage space in the center console, they had a cooler, an actual cooler.
Well, it was a mini fridge.
Yeah, it was amazing. I love that feature. I would totally take that right now and lose the locking thing. I mean, you have a glove box. You can lock that.
Oh.
You learn to live without that.
See,
Dave was cooking dinner. Good for you.
You're a good man,
again
David.
Tonight.
Yeah, again.
Every night.
Well, I cooked when you were gone.
Yeah, and for the dog.
Actually, yeah. So we have a puppy, and so I had 3 kids,
3 dogs.
No, 3 dogs,
and a cat.
and a cat
and a guinea pig.
and a guinea pig. And
Full
yeah,
zoo.
it's a full zoo, whatever. 12-volt fridges are great. See, Kyle knows the deal. Put the fridge in the back.
Yeah,
And
but the only problem is you can't access it when you're driving if you need it.
yeah, well, okay, let me ask you this. In Texas, when you were crawling some of those rocks, are you sipping on your Diet Coke?
No, I was holding on to the dash.
Right.
Honestly.
Well, what if you're driving? I hope you're holding on to the wheel.
I'd be holding on to the wheel, but I was holding on to the dash.
And your
being
little
the passenger.
my
What
did they say? The hooks over the steering?
No.
Now
As
tell
a
them to deal with the
passenger-
hooks.
Okay, so the hook, what he's referring
Driving.
to, is as you're preparing to drive, actually, you need to be seated as close to the steering wheel as comfortable, so your feet hit the pedals, blah, blah, blah. But your hands are supposed to drape right here on your wrist over the steering wheel.
Right.
So that should be the proximity of the steering wheel, so you can adequately drive and take those turns and maneuver your vehicle appropriately.
Man, you really learned it.
I did.
And
It was great.
I can tell Becky's just like looking for the nearest ditch between here and.
I know when Kelly and I
Whatever.
left, we were like, well, we had a rental and it was really nice. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, man, I just want to go off-roading.
No.
Because we're like an open country. Like we could have probably driven through someone's field and no one would have known the difference. I was like, dang it.
Was that before or after you saw the reindeer?
Before, when we were leaving the off-roadeo, we're all like, yes, let's go.
For those of you Texans, Becky says y'all have some real critters running around down there.
So we were driving along, I don't even know what road, leaving the off-roadeo, and he was on the phone with us, and all of a sudden Kelly and I were like, oh my gosh, look at those things in the field. Because I'm looking at all the ranches. It amazes me in Texas, there's just not a driveway to a ranch.
Right.
There's this huge, intricate archway, like everything's so fancy, and it's just really cool. So I'm checking out all the pastures, and I'm like, oh, there's a deer. Okay, finally, we're seeing a couple cows. All of a sudden, we see a herd. They look like elk / moose / reindeer, and they had the real fuzzy antlers, these huge antlers. I could never find a picture to match exactly what we saw. They were incredible looking. And we couldn't stop and pull over. There was someone right behind us.
Sounds like one of those ghost
and
stories.
We were worried, too, that if we pulled off somewhere, we wouldn't have been able to get out of them.
So you saw Sasquatch when you were down there, too,
Kind of.
didn't you?
We saw elk squatch.
Sasquatch, though.
Elk squatch.
You took a picture of it.
No, we did see Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
It's pretty cool.
On
They
the
have
trail.
this giant cutout of like the shadow Sasquatch dude.
Mm-hmm.
Back up in the trees a little bit.
So I had to take a picture and
She
say,
took a picture and
oh
sent
my
it to
gosh, we saw Bigfoot.
Yeah. Gotta say Sasquatch, man.
Kinda
Squatch.
funny.
Squatch, dude.
Yeah, chupacabra. No, that's what Kyle said.
Yeah, I was going to say that,
It
Kyle.
wasn't.
You beat me
Those-
to
From
it.
everything I've seen with those are like real, like mangy looking, foxy wolf things. These were huge, cross between
With big
reindeer,
teeth.
moose, elk. I mean, everything that you wouldn't expect to see in Texas. It was all mixed together in one animal, and they were so neat looking.
Overlanding for Fun said, "What did I win?" Well, I was going to message you later and ask you, or maybe I can tell you now what you won. Doing a video with me on teaching me, do I need a CB or a GMRS radio for my Bronco? I need your expertise
You
on
guys
that.
need to do a video.
If you watched the interview with Becky and I politely asked you in that if you would help out. So I figured I'd text you and say, watch the video. There's a little Easter egg in there
invitation.
for you. Oh, let's see.
A jackalope, 4 high, 4 low. I don't know. It was bigger than a jackalope, way bigger. Ask Kelly. Maybe Kelly will chime in. It looks like she's chiming in this alternation
before and they were there, Kelly. Let's see. I'm so ready, but on all of the accessories. Let me start over. Jeez, I can't read. I promise,
really?
Jessica.
Yeah.
I'm so ready, but all the accessories. But I don't want to be stuck with something if something traffic happens to the Bronco en route to the dealership. Well, you would if something tragic happened. Let's not hope for that, but you definitely could resell everything. But obviously, you've waited this long. You'd wait for another one to be delivered, right? Right. So, think about that. Someone that's waited a couple years and then who knows what could happen, right? Damaged beyond repair
Oh
in
my
transit.
gosh. I mean, you see stuff like that.
You've seen some of the videos where the front or the rear or the swing gates crunch dump.
That would be devastating.
You know, I was so thankful when the first Bronco, the 21 came in. I went to the dealership and it was like holding my breath. There was only one slight thing, and I've never told anyone that, but when it was on the truck being delivered, it was facing toward the rear of the truck. And they didn't have the top Velcroed down, and it rained coming in,
Oh.
and it was just a tiny bit of water on the rubber mat.
Yeah, I
in the back.
didn't. You never mentioned that to me,
I
so
didn't
I didn't
care.
even know. That's why I'm looking at
We
you
opened the
in
door,
dismay.
and there was like a 4-inch diameter puddle there, and I said, "That's it." Like, I was hoping there was nothing else wrong, right? There was nobody scratched it, this or that. Everything was sure. It was the body panels were perfect. I didn't care about a little bit of water inside. I was thankful it was there, right? And so some people, unfortunately, though, when they get theirs, they've had scratches, damage,
Yeah.
body panel, something weird, right?
Mhm.
And but we
We
were
very
we're
fortunate
blessed
with
because both
them.
of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just had that one seal thing, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I've got to do a video on all the little. Becky says the Bronco is talking to the mothership after we park it.
It does. It makes a lot of noise.
There's this clicking, and it's not temperature, it's not anything like that. It's something electronic inside, and it makes this clunk clunk noise.
Well, I
For
call
about
it settling.
It's
but
not. It's not.
she
It's
says
it's
not.
it's an actuator. It's a motor. It's something moving.
Yeah.
And it does it only on the 21, not on the 22, and it does it for about an hour.
Yeah, the 22
hour.
is pretty quiet compared to that.
I actually shot a video, and in the background, I think it was the
when we did the interview at the park.
no. Well, the interview one, I think you can hear it in that once. But when we did the bash plate interview or the bash plate video, you could hear it in the back clicking a little bit. Some of the weird stuff, but it's more content, right? We'll figure out what it is. No big deal. Let's see what do we have here. And Alternation and Shelby yelled, "What is that?" and scared the crap out of me. Yeah. Yeah, that must have been on the Sasquatch thing.
Yeah, it's a big
Positive vibes, Dr. Detroit. Talking to someone there. Jackalope, you saw that. I think you said that already. And Tim said, "Let's do it." Thanks, Tim. I appreciate that. Yeah, the comms in any off-road vehicle is critical, as you know, anyone. Now, we'll tell you, I'm not interested in ripping the dash apart because I think I still have nightmares when I saw your picture online of your dash apart.
I'd be a little scared about that.
I was stressed for Tim, but yeah. So I'm just looking for that, that bolt on. Now, Dave and Kelly had a guest on a few weeks ago, and I'm sorry I can't remember their name, but they were talking about an antenna mount that doesn't have to clamp to the hood. Remember I told you I wasn't crazy about that?
Mm-hmm.
So, and something near the front. Ryan Hemming, hey, what's going on? Welcome aboard tonight. Caribou. Was it Caribou? What are you looking up, Caribou?
Yeah, but their antlers still aren't as plentiful as what we saw. It's so hard to describe. And then I would ask people, and they look at me like I had 3 heads. So
it's like Extreme Animal Live Wednesday night edition.
So cool. The things Kelly and I wanted to experience different things while we were there, and then we see
visit.
This.
Well,
we wanted to experience.
Well, you've got
area.
some video. You've got some videos and stuff, so you can't say it. But you did go see some cool stuff.
We did a few little things.
Alexa and I, our schedule worked out so that we drove there. We did the event, stayed in the hotel one night, and left.
Mm-hmm.
So, and remember, we were there for 2 days. So we got there late Sunday. We had the event Monday and Tuesday, and then Tuesday night. Tuesday night. Tuesday afternoon, we were headed to the airport. So it was just this quick turnaround.
And we tried to do even more, but for instance, I can tell you this because it turned out to be dry for real. But we tried to go see a dam in the area, and it was all dried up and off limits. We were joking that we were going driving to our deaths in the horror movie or something. It was kind of funny, but if you were there, I guess.
Yeah. So Alternation said mountains to metal. So that was the company there. Nice looking products they have online. So I'm definitely interested in looking at an antenna mount that we don't have to clamp onto the hood. So maybe between the time Tim and I figure out what I need, well, he already knows what I need, but when I figure out what I need, and and maybe something like that will be available. So definitely want to try it because need the comms in there. You and I both, and so we can go from there. So you said on our interview you didn't need me anymore. Now that you had your own Bronco, so you could.
I didn't mean
So
it
now,
like that. I
y'all,
just didn't
she
need to
knows
steal
what
your
buttons to push
Bronco.
and
That was
when,
the whole
and it's like,
premise behind it.
bye, see ya.
Oh, that's
So,
so funny.
yeah, that's not bad. But anyway, so what do you think about all the new trims coming? I say all the new trims. We found out today that there's a really good chance there's two Heritage
Mhm.
Broncos coming out, the Heritage and Heritage Limited. The other one, the Oats, is we just talked about that. That's probably the Bronco DR. However, and that was straight off of, I think someone posted it. I saw it originally on the Bronco Nation forum, but I think it was posted over on 6G. Either way, I didn't copy it down here. But it's interesting to see because I keep looking at this Heritage that we're all calling it a Heritage, and I called the dealer and I was like, "Listen, do you have anything yet? Can you guys hear this rumbling in the background? If you hear if you hear this roar over our house, it's a C-130 doing.
Looks like a B-52 bomber.
It's a
bombing mosquitoes.
It's a C-130 spraying for mosquitoes, and I swear they're 100 feet over the house.
Yeah, you can sit in the sunroom. We've seen them before.
You can count rivets.
It's crazy the way how low that they come.
Yeah, and the dogs, the cat, everybody's got toenails out, grabbing the carpet and running for dear life. But yeah, they're yeah. Tim said, Becky said, bye, Felicia.
Oh, still waiting on the drag race alternation.
Yeah, and All Terrain said DR doesn't get a VIN. Yeah, and they were talking about 50 of them, but the whole Oats, I think it was the Oats acronym or build name for it. So you have the Heritage Limited, and the Oats, and I saw somebody pulled that off. I think it was off of Federal Transportation website or something. So who knows what's going on with that? But I suspect that. There was the Ranger Raptor, or the 2023 Ranger start being built in May of next year if nothing changes. And you're still trying to figure out your animals. And I'm wondering if I would be surprised if we get hit with a mid-year surprise in a Bronco next year. Who knows? Someone was speculating, would there be a two-door Raptor? Well, they've already said that there wasn't going to be a two-door Raptor because of the performance, the speed, articulation of this thing. They needed the extra wheelbase for the performance of it. And that was one of the engineers. They were discussing that the wheelbase was really critical for that, like the truck, for all the performance, the jumping and all this other stuff. So,
well, and
rock crawling and things of that nature.
I still am curious if they're going to do a soft top in the Bronco Raptor.
So if you look at the speeds, no. If you look at the speeds,
it's just a safety.
I think it's a safety
Department of Transportation requirement, maybe.
I don't know. Well, if you think about it,
they have to have the lights and all these other special things because of the width of the vehicle.
I think the MIC top, if you look at, that's the sport bar is what's going to protect you in a rollover. The top's not going to do it, but it adds.
True.
It adds something. It is a little quieter.
It is.
And I mean, we'll see how the MIC holds up in for the people who actually take them off road. Because a lot of them are going to sit in garages and drive around the street, but the ones that are actually getting the crap beat out of them in Moab or Johnson Valley or something, we'll see how the top holds up. But with the cross, there's two cross braces. I forget what they're called, like the B post cross member. The B pillar, the one right behind you. There's a aluminum one there that's clad in plastic, and then a carbon fiber-ish type material in the back. They've added that for rigidity, but that's got nothing to do with the top. I mean, that's performance, right? And twisting and stuff like that. But it's interesting. I don't see why you couldn't put a soft top on it though, aftermarket.
Well, and that's my thing.
I mean, you know,
if you're going to keep it for ease of use, I want a soft top for the
but
summer.
who would order a Bronco Raptor with a soft top, being that the hard tops are so hard to get anyway?
Well, true. No, and I
And so
see,
you want the hard top,
okay,
and then
yes, I see ordering it with the hard top, unless you're in a very warm climate all year round, like maybe Arizona or somebody like that.
Bronco 78 said Best Top will probably offer a soft top for
Yeah.
the Raptor. I totally
I would
totally
guess
agree.
that.
Yep, I totally agree.
Overlanding for Fun's talking about wanting an Escalade V Series 6.2 liter supercharged V8 engine, 682 horsepower. Man.
Yeah, it's a sleeper.
And that's a big SUV too.
Yeah,
good lord,
it's rather large.
That sounds pretty beastly. That would be fun.
Yeah, Dr. Detroit. Hey, I've got I want to do a video on this, and you know, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you now what the idea is. I mean, I'm sure someone will do it, but you've seen these lifts, or whether they're homemade or they're lifts, but you see how people are not just lifting the top off their Bronco, but storing them in their garage.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you my real concern.
Well, yeah.
So I deal with structural stuff all the time now, not tops on vehicles, right? But I still do the whole freak out about overthinking. You know, I see how the braces are going in from back to front, right? Take the two panels off the front, the one panel off of over the passengers, and so the back half is being supported by two braces. I worry that if you hang something like that long enough, what are the chances you get a little bowing, because the sides have a lot more weight, right, than the top.
Yeah, I would
if
be
you're
leery
supporting
of
the top, it's going to want to bow in a
Yeah.
little bit. So I was looking at, well, when we store ours, of course, I'll have to, you know, geek out on the old lift thing. But I already had an idea for a lift that would hold it, and you know, this electric winch.
Yeah, and I like that idea, because in our garage right now, we don't have anywhere else to store it other than up. However, we do probably need to invest in that little lift thing that you can roll around and just lift it, because as of right now, we have not taken off that very back section because I didn't want to really do it.
Well, we
Seems
haven't taken them
kinda
off at
tough.
either one. I mean, I folded the soft top all the way back.
Right, you folded the soft top. I'm talking about the MIC top, because that back piece is a little bit tricky to me, and plus then we don't really have anywhere to set it and keep it without me being fearful that something's going to happen to it.
Well, and I told you I'm going to remove the entire soft top before I treat it, because I don't want overspray and stuff and getting on the paint. I've heard some people say it's hard to get it off and things like that. I figure I can take the top off, treat it out in the driveway, and put it back on the Bronco in less time than I can then detail the spray for the top, the soft top. Dr. Detroit said a cross brace would fix that. You're right. It would. I was just thinking of a lift that really supported the back, where like it rests on the Bronco, right on the sides. That's kind of how what we're going to be doing. Yeah. And Dr. Detroit also said it's not as hard as you think. The doors are more of a nail biter for me. I've heard several people say that. One person I know said that actually does a lot of mechanical work, and they were a little saying, you know, but it was a situation where you know, I want to know the torque specs on those bolts, because you hear some people saying, well, they're too loose or too tight. If they're too tight, they pop. Too loose, they do something else. So I think it's like anything else, trial and error. You got to do it, and taking the doors off is not something that you do often, right? So you got to do it, and I guess
I have heard some ladies mention in the Bronco ladies group that it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah, and you know, well, I don't think it's not hard. I mean, I think Dave's taken his off before. And he didn't. I mean, it seems like we would have talked about it if there was something went wrong. So I mean, obviously Dave's mechanically inclined too. So, but I'm just saying you know, whether you're good with working with tools or not, or your comfort level or not, I've heard some people that I know are good working with tools didn't like doing it. And I think it's also the net benefit. Do you really enjoy with the doors off? If you really do, you're more inclined to do it. It's got nothing to do with.
The only time that I could see myself wanting the doors off would be riding on the beach. Other than that, riding with the doors off on the open road just kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. Makes me a little nervous. So,
hey, Jonathan, how are you? Welcome aboard. So real, look at there for Becky's outdoor adventures. You see that comment?
mm-mm.
You have a time delay
I missed
happening
it.
over there.
Oh, I think so.
What does that say? Can't read it from here.
I'm not sure who made that comment. Here, I'll just
Kyle
read
did.
yours.
Too long, mostly straight antlers.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. No, I looked that up. No, it's not that. I'm thinking someone had commented for me to look up the red. What was it? The red stag deer. It does look more similar to that, but the antlers, but they're covered in velvet, which could be an age thing. But they're very leggy.
That's a seasonal thing,
right? But they were
Summer.
very leggy. They seemed like they were much taller than a normal deer. That's why they reminded me so much of a moose, but they weren't moose. But it was just neat. But I'm like fascinated with stuff like that. So
you don't get out much.
Apparently not.
So all right, back to your off-roadeo, because I told you we're going to bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
Biggest takeaway from Texas, the ladies event. First of all, it's pretty cool. You went there first ever, you and Kelly. Your trail guide was Shelby Hall, and she rode in your Bronco with you. That's really cool.
That is really cool.
So
I felt very privileged for that.
So the comfort level, though.
The comfort level was good.
Were you nervous?
I mean, at first I was nervous just because I'm totally new to off-roading. I've been in the sand on the beach. That's it. I've never been on the trail.
Oh, hold on. But before we go to, what was the deal about the cliff or the ledge, or you were really close to a gravity event?
Yeah. But I didn't worry because, well, first off, I couldn't see out the window. Poor Kelly could see out the window. I was like, yep, we're going to go over. We're going to go. But Shelby's like, no, it's fine. Just more left than you think. And I didn't turn left enough. And yeah, we got pretty close to the edge.
So we talked about that, trust in your spotter.
Yes.
You know, your gut instinct might feel like, and from the driver's point of view, feel like you need to do one thing, but a spotter's telling you to do something.
I mean, they're looking at it from a totally different perspective than you. They can see way more than you can. But Shelby was in the back seat at this point. We were just going up a pretty steep hill. And at the top of the hill, you had to turn a very hard left to get on the trail. But what I didn't realize was on the other side of the front of the hill was a drop off. And had we not hooked hard left like we were supposed to, we could have gone over the drop off. And that's what poor Kelly was worried about, because she could see out of the passenger side window things that I couldn't see, because it is. I mean, it's difficult to see where you're going, and you're climbing up this hill and all you see is blue sky up ahead. So it was fun. But I wasn't nervous because Shelby's like, oh, you're doing fine. Just hard left. And yeah, I just didn't hard left it enough. I had to back up a little bit to make that hard left. So,
but it's fun stuff.
But it was fun.
And you know what the buttons are now.
Yeah, I do.
The purpose of the buttons.
And as I said in my video, which Dwayne hasn't had a chance to edit everything yet, he's the editor. So he's got a lot of footage to take care of. But, you know, I'm full disclosure. I'm not going to beef myself up to be something more than I am. And like, well, I've done this before, but my husband always tells me which buttons to push.
Yeah, well.
So I have a better understanding now, because they teach you about all the buttons, and he's mentioned it to me before, but I guess we were right in the moment.
Yeah.
Things were kind of crazy, and I just didn't have time to digest it all. But I had more time to digest it all now.
Well, it'll come back to you, because, you know, one of the things, like I said, the comfort level. You know, we're going to do the video. It's small things too about the Bronco. You remember the deal where Johnny and I actually ran into this when we were in the Outer Banks. If you're in sand mode, the Bronco, once you hit sand mode, you select that goat mode on the dial. It puts you into 4 high with the rear lockers engaged. Yep. And so the Outer Banks Corova is such that when you leave the beach, there's signs everywhere, like 10 of them, staring at you. with a big eye on you, no stopping for any reason. Well, I want to stop and shift back to normal. If
Mhm.
you don't come to a complete stop and you shift to normal, it takes you out of 4 high, but keeps the rear locker engaged. Remember, I
I do
didn't
remember
at
that.
first I didn't notice it. You had people in front of you, people behind you, and a lot going on, and I happened to look
Yeah,
up and
you're
I was like, oh
stressed.
man, little amber lights on, right? So I disengaged the rear locker. But if you come to a complete stop and shift from sand mode to normal, it'll actually shift everything back and you don't have to manually do anything. So the little videos that people that's been wheeling their Broncos, you know this probably already, but if you go down there and you're leaving the beach, I tell you no stopping for any reason. Well, I stop and select sand mode and I stop to take it out now. So I am going to stop because I'm not tearing my vehicle up because the signs say no stop. Now, here's the thing about stopping. There is a place you can kind of pull over a little bit. They don't want you to stop because if you create, for other vehicles than say, Broncos and Jeeps with aftermarket tires, little plug there because our Sasquatch is good to go from the factory. Hey.
Yeah, and that's
But
the
if
other
you
really
stop
cool
in that
thing.
real loose stuff, there's a likelihood you'll get stuck. So they want you to keep moving from the wet sand to the hard surface road over that real loose dry sand. And that's why if you have some skinny little tires and stuff, you got to keep moving. If you stop, what was it? The Excursion got stuck,
Yeah,
and
but
we
that's a heavy vehicle
we
too.
pulled the Excursion out without even any struggle. The 2.7, I mean, just a little bit of gas
Hmm.
and pulled him right out. And he was buried to the diff. So I mean, he was not like it was just a
Yeah,
little stuff.
he was deep.
I think we drug him for a foot and then it started to come out of the sand. So anyway, pretty cool stuff. Hey, some of the comments here. I want to catch up before I'm going to try to screen share this. I think was I trying to screen share last week when
When
our
everything went
software went
AWOL,
to, yeah,
locked you out.
that was insane. Bronco 78. Of course, he's the one that taught me how to drive it. Okay, wait a minute. I got to pick back up here. Bronco 78 said, it can be hard to trust a spotter if you really don't know them. My brother is about the only one that ever trusted Spot Me. There you go.
Yeah,
So you know them, right?
and it
And
is hard to trust a spotter.
it is, but I knew in like Texas Off-Roadeo, they don't want me wrecking their vehicle.
Exactly.
And so I knew, and they want to teach you to do it right. They want you to be safe. And so I just said, okay, I just go against
You
my.
have to, yep, throw it all to the wind.
And Johnny was our trail guide there, and of course he's like a willing genius. So I'm like, okay, it's
Yeah,
sort of like
and
your
that's the
experience.
thing. Like everyone there
Yeah,
that is a trail guide, they know what they're doing.
yeah,
And the cool thing is, Amy Cloud, if you're out there, Amy, hi. She was awesome, and she actually designed the track that we went on,
yeah.
or the course. So they're all experts.
So we're looking forward to. I guess we get to go to our second one,
Yep, we have another reservation.
and we need to really try to pull off New Hampshire.
Yes.
New Hampshire's closer to our terrain.
Yep.
So
And that was the plan initially.
what about Woodward Dream Cruise up in Michigan? Are we going to try to do that?
When is it?
I don't know. Somebody help me out here.
You mentioned it recently, but I just don't remember the date. Was it September or something?
End of August, maybe?
Okay.
Beginning
I
of
don't know.
September?
We'll have to see. The kids are back in school and all that fun stuff.
Someone in the comments, help me out. Help me out.
August 20th. Ooh.
Oh, who said that?
All Terrain Nation said it's August 20th.
Ah, that's funny.
And
I
they'll
haven't
be
gotten
there.
it yet.
That'd be fun.
Oh, there you go. August 20th. There you go.
That would
We'll
be
there.
fun.
That'd be fun. I think we could.
It's a long drive. Though.
It's a long drive for us. So, let's see. It'll be the second time the Bronco is up that way.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, how far is that from Michigan Assembly Plant? I haven't even looked at a map. I mean, I could look it up, but on the spot, is it a long drive from there, or would that be like a great place to get a photo of? Because that would be cool. We've got the picture of our Bronco rolling off the line. How cool would that be to add a picture of it out front of map? So it's very close. So maybe we could do something like that. There you go. Becky has it up here on the other screen.
Wow.
So I'm gone in 60 here. Are you tuning in tonight?
them.
Are you tuning in with us tonight? Hey, let's switch over. So everyone, give me just a second here, and we're going to see if we can pull this off.
What are you trying to do? Oh, screen share.
Meltdown. Yeah, meltdown the internet again.
Oh boy. Shutting down the internet.
I still have Iconics. There you go. All right, so check this out. If you've seen it on the comments, I'm Gone in 60 has a YouTube channel, and I asked him if we could share this here. So he painted his MIC top, and we'll play just a couple seconds of this, if it'll play. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's thinking. How you like
there
that?
It is.
That's sharp.
It's very sharp.
I like the wheels too. I mean, that's a really, really good.
It looks great.
Looking, and that was your original color, right? Didn't you like that color originally?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I did actually, and then I veered away because I thought it was too light. But once I started seeing it in person, I just really loved it.
All right, so check that out. Tell me that is not something that should have rolled off the floor.
No, it looks really nice.
Like, I mean,
because it's the matte black. I mean, it looks okay, but that shiny black looks way better.
And then, of course, if you have the right body color, then you do the white, right?
Yeah,
like the green.
The white would look so good. It just gives it that old flair.
And I know it might be
retro.
A little higher maintenance,
retro.
right, to keep it clean, but
yeah, but everybody has white cars with a white roof. You know, it can't be that hard.
All right, so I was trying to figure out in the spy photos of the Heritage, are the windows in that MIC top removable? They looked a little bit different, but honestly, and that's in the painted hard top in that one. This is an MIC top that has been painted. The windows look very similar here, unless I'm not seeing something. The windows look very similar here. So I'm not sure if the windows are going to be removable or not, or I don't know if we'd be able to tell from this angle anyway. You know, obviously the whatever hardware that the mechanical stuff is on the inside, but so I'm Gone in 60. Great top there. If you guys are watching, maybe head over and look at his channel and hit that like button and subscribe there. He's got some great content. That's just a sharp looking deal. All right, so let's get back on over here. All right. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go back to some comments here. Let's see. All Train Nation says we're going to do a meetup for the cruise. That'll be cool. If we can get away, that'd be great. Pez Head said 1 hour away. I'm assuming that was between MAP and the Woodward Dream Cruise. There should be an off-roadeo Everglades. That'd be sweet. Yeah, just like straight up run it in the water, right, and see how it works. And the water and the dust, make it extra dusty.
Yeah,
you can mix those two.
Well, that was one of the things in Texas. We had no water.
Yeah, Dr. Detroit, he said, I'm down. That'd be cool to meet everyone up that way that we haven't got a chance to meet yet.
Yeah, I would love that.
Because, if you live up there, there's less likelihood that we're going to see you at Tennessee or
It's a
Texas.
little bit of a hike
it's possible. But, yeah, that'd be cool. My dealer's telling me 8.4 for my Bronco Raptor. Iconic Bronco, yeah. Wow, so
that's right around the corner. Jeez. That's amazing.
All right, look. I can't remember if we're connected over on Instagram, but if we're not, look us up here and please send me some pictures of that.
Yeah, what color did you get?
Well,
is it Iconic Silver?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
All right, for that comment, folks, I will be sleeping on the couch tonight. So, yeah.
With the puppy.
No,
he's very quiet right now.
Yeah, the puppy's like, What's up? You're a little concerned. We were.
She's like
I was prepared to tell you. Yeah, she is. I was prepared to. She is just like a little raptor. If you watch Jurassic Park and those little things, yeah, that's our little
Blue's little baby. Just kidding.
9-week-old.
Gosh, I forgot about all the puppies.
Oh yeah, you're right. That little
Blue's little raptor baby.
Let's see. Overlanding for fun. It will be a Bronco Santa Ford takeover on the.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. See, I told
Everyone's
you.
back in action. We had so much fun at Supercell East. That was great.
Supercell East was fun, and I think something like this. Yes, it's a long drive, but how many times you get to do it?
Oh, it's a long
How
drive.
many? The opportunity you get
It's
to do
a
it.
very long drive. Yeah, I was just wondering. It's probably what, like 16 hours for us or something?
Don't know.
18? It's far.
Just think it's like
I'm
a
not a
trip
good
to
road
Disney without
tripper.
seeing the mouse.
Oh. I'll think
So
about
what are
that.
you doing? So I think the Bronco Raptors are going to start showing up. Like I said, there's maybe an August 4th, August, say first week of August, maybe worst case second week of August. You're going to start seeing those show up. Your August 15th, if it's on time. The F-150 order banks were on time, by the way. They opened on time. So if the Bronco order banks are on time, August 15th, you'll know if there's a Heritage on there or not. I'm assuming there will be. And if so, is it one or two Heritage? For sure. Any other trims, any other modifications, colors, things we don't know about, options that they're adding or taking away. All of that will be in there for that August 15th deal. So, or right around there, but if they're on time, August 15th. So that's going to be cool. You're going to start seeing Raptors show up. We still don't have a build date. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the Bronco mouse. There you go. Yeah. The Ford Magic Kingdom up there.
There
right?
you go.
Yeah. I see. Brian, first week reservation delivered today, picked up this afternoon. Here, let's highlight this.
Amazing, Brian. I'm so
2
happy
years
for you.
to that is actually awesome. Congratulations, Brian. The dream is real. And you're right. When you get it, it feels like, dang, man, this is what I've been waiting on, talking about, stressing over. Brian, that's awesome. So congratulations on that. I can tell you when we got our 21 Bronco, I just, it came in.
You are so giddy.
Came in the day it was
so
raining,
exciting.
and I had to go by and see it. And I said, look, I know this thing's been on a truck. I know it's been on a train, but could you keep it inside tonight? They detailed it. They did the inspections, and they had everything ready to go. They sat it inside, and the next day it was out. I went and picked it up. I was able to get it in the morning, but I waited until the afternoon so I could get Gavin out of school.
Right.
Because there was no way I was going to pick this up without Gavin. And so I got Gavin. I couldn't wait. I got him a little early from school, just like, he's got to leave. We got to go. And we went over and we left our Explorer there, and we picked up the company Explorer, and we picked up the Bronco and went driving. And I tell you, it was surreal, right? I've waited on it. I've talked about it. Went to Texas at that point.
Yeah.
Drove
so you
home.
had already experienced off-roadeo, so you kind of knew.
Yeah. So, but it was scary. And I forgot to hit the auto start stop thing, and I pulled up to the light and it cut off, and I'm like, oh crap. It's like some of the stuff, Friday afternoon traffic, because it came in on Thursday. We got it on, Friday. It was pretty funny. I was thinking too, you always got the build emails on Thursday. Thursday was the day, right? I don't know if it's still doing that or not.
Maybe that's just set.
And it just so happened that it showed up. And then the crazy thing was that our 22 showed up a day before a pretty big snowstorm here.
Yeah.
And it was cold. And the day we picked that up was cool because a Ford GT was being delivered.
Yeah, that was pretty.
So I'll never forget. I walked in and they had this big spread of food being catered by this really good restaurant.
And you walk in, you're like, oh, for me.
I'm like, dang, is that what they give you for 2 Broncos? And they're like, oh, no. We've got your file over here. This is for the Ford GT buyer.
The papers.
Yeah, and there was a magazine photographer there and a writer there doing something on it. But it was there again. That was like 2 years in the makings. I think that was, or 3 years, something like that. Custom, and the engineer comes down with that whole thing. So whether it's a $60,000 Bronco or a $650,000 or whatever thousand Ford GT, it's just a cool. Just a cool day, man, I tell you. And then it snowed.
That snow was so disappointing, though. We really wanted to be able to use a trail turn assist, but we didn't ever have enough snow or anywhere because everything melted on the street like that. And we didn't have anywhere to go off the street to utilize that trail turn assist.
All right, so his head 123 said, "Perfect, ATN. It's in Dearborn, right down the street from the world headquarters." So, right, I guess they're the Rouge tour. Man, I'd love to do the Rouge tour.
Which one is that?
Oh, that's what they're talking about. The Ford Garage meetups right down the road from.
Oh.
So there's
it's
one
all
in
the same
Ohio
events.
and
Okay.
different stuff. Yeah, we just need to catch up on the comments there. Overlanding for fun. I hear you. Did you see his comment?
With the garage.
Yeah. So anyway, what I was trying to get to this comment right here. Yeah. So Brian, what Bronco did you get? What's the trim? What's the options? Things like that. Definitely like to know. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. You know, being able to do more and more of this stuff. You know, Supercell. If you think about it, man, Tennessee's going to be here before you know it.
Don't rush it.
No, we're August. You're going to blink.
That's still like
and
8 months away.
I know what it is,
We're
but
good.
it's going to be November, and then next thing you know, it's Happy New Year, and then you're reserving your hotel. And this time we have to do it in December, so we don't get. Not unless you want to stay in the same place we stayed last time.
Honestly, I was pleased with where we stayed.
Yeah.
I knew it was a little drive, but it was close to everything there.
We were in civilization.
Yeah,
though.
I really liked it.
Hey, so I have an idea without getting anything too nasty here, by the way. So Becky and I have never been up to Michigan or this part. So if we're traveling from Virginia, where do we need to stay that we don't need to, is there a great place to stay around there or somewhere you recommend or don't recommend?
Right.
I don't mean I don't mean the hotel. I mean the areas. Like how close, how far away do we need to stay? Because it's a pretty big event, right? Places are going to be booked.
Right. That's true.
I read something today. It was on that article, I think, that you were on right there, that it's the biggest cruise with over 1 million people over.
Wow.
Yeah. 30-some thousand, 40-some thousand cars total. I mean, read the article. It's crazy. Yeah, Jonathan says smelly roof. Look, I know it's a factory. I get it.
We'll have to check it out.
Map is near
Definitely.
the testing center. Okay. Yeah, all terrain. We'll talk about that later. I have to get a point. So I'm going to try to convince Becky to go. So we'll, I mean, if you think about it, if we drive in shifts, then we can just leave and get there in a day.
So that's one Bronco.
Well, yeah, but would you want to take both?
I don't know. It would just, we need to review everything.
All right, we'll look at it.
Yeah.
It's all about time too.
Answer it on the fly. Yeah, but for that long of a drive, we'd probably need to take one.
Yeah, all right, well, cool. Well, any comments tonight on my video that I dropped this week? The bash plates, I've had a lot of people ask me, between the modular bumper and the capable bumper, are the bash plates in the front the exact same? Mm-hmm. So we found an engineering number on it, and then our dealer translated that over to a part number, and it is the same, at least in the parts book it is. So we answered that question this week. In the process of investigating that, I found 2 more, let's call them air quotes, bash plates.
Smooch plates. That's what they call them at the off-road.
Smooch.
The ladies off-road, because you don't want to bash them.
Smooch.
You just want to smooch them.
Smooch them. Right. Okay.
Because if you're bashing them, you're tearing something up.
Well, that's called wheeling.
Right, but
and that's what we do in your Bronco.
Bash things. Oh, I still can't wait to see the look on your face when
the 21's. The 21's going to be, that'll be the one that gets.
It'll be the green
smooch.
machine. It'll be the green machine that's living the life.
Well, you haul the kids around in it, so it's already living the life.
I looked in it the other. I guess it was yesterday, and I looked down. And I was like, "Where did all that dirt come from?" It looks like I was in Texas.
How did you get mud behind the door handle? Or did you just
I don't even know.
Sling it on the side?
No, you know what it was?
Because I don't see how that could happen.
When Gavin was fishing on Sunday at the park.
Yeah.
He kind of fell into the Creek or whatever, and I'm pretty sure it's where it all came
I
from.
was like,
because I was trying to figure out the same thing. Like, where did all this stuff come from? It was Gavin.
So between Sam's Club and Walmart, there's a big ditch there. You ought to send it across.
Just send it.
Bronco 78
I don't
said
want to get in
send it.
trouble. I don't want to go visit the local police department precinct on the wrong end of things.
Yeah, see, sending it costs money sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, and I was curious. I asked you in that little interview that we did that how much vehicle maintenance talk was in there.
Not
air filters, right?
Mm-mm.
Think about your air filter if you're doing a lot of dusty type terrain.
Yeah, I mean, if that was mentioned, I must have been absent because I don't remember that.
I saw. Speaking of Amy Cloud, she posted a picture on Instagram today of what's her husband's name?
Mike
Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike. Amy, he was blowing dust and stuff out of one of the engine compartments of the Bronco. And I think the caption was like, whether it's helping with the trail or taking pictures or mechanical stuff. Yeah.
Now that you say
I'm like, that's cool.
Yep.
But it was interesting to see how, because those Broncos right now are just getting just dirty. When we were there, we had a lot of water. We did have dust.
We had a ton of dust because there was no water. Everything was dried up. We had, all rocks, no water, just dirt and rocks.
Let's see. Here we go. Tim knows the deal. You're blaming the kids for that dirty Bronco you're driving around. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
How in the world? Whatever. We're not going to get into that.
Oh, yeah. No. This is more like it. Is that Nutella?
Gavin does eat Nutella, but not that day.
Iconic,
was
you got
Creek
it.
Mud.
You call little man out. Next week he should be here with us, so you'll have to call him out on it. Tell him to clean the Nutella off his. See.
The good thing is it's all marine grade vinyl.
But that's no excuse.
But it's easily cleaned. I mean, live a little.
Yeah, Bronco 78 says, "Oh yes, it does cost to send it." Yeah, that is a reality, my friend, that comes in. But I was just talking about maintenance. I'm surprised we didn't talk, because
honestly, we just didn't have time. Right. I don't think for that.
I don't think we did.
We talked recovery.
We didn't talk about it.
But we were just trying to talk the basics and to educate everyone enough so they knew what they were doing, so we could go hit the trails because we did have a limited day. Honestly, I wish we would have had 2 days. That would have been better. But what we had was amazing. But if I could change anything, it would be a longer event. Okay,
Brian, I'm sorry. Here, let's pop this up here. I didn't see your comment earlier. I was too busy giving her grief about her dirty Bronco. So Brian got a Black Diamond Sasquatch 2.7 hardtop tow. Yeah, so you held out strong, my friend. You were like, you weren't taking no for the answer. Every deadly sin you got on the Bronco.
Yeah, but
good for you for getting exactly what you wanted.
That's what you wanted. Yeah. And he was willing to wait. I don't blame him for that at all.
Yeah, I just saw your comment here. Wasn't willing to compromise options for getting it quicker. And I totally agree. Dave helped me out with that with a comment. I was thinking about changing something on the Bronco, and one of his live streams one night, he said something like, change small things or what, but get the Bronco you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're paying for that Bronco.
Get the one that you want. And I was like, you know what? He's got
a compromise. And then the downside of compromising is that, say you sacrifice something to get it quicker, but you still want those things, whether it be a hitch or whatever, you're going to pay more aftermarket probably than you would ordering it from the factory. So why not just wait a little bit?
So 4 High 4 Low saying the same thing. He said, Brian, I feel the same way about my order. I mean, like I said, this is especially, if you're going to keep it for a couple months and try to flip it or something, it really doesn't matter. But if this is your vehicle that you're going to wheel for a while and do it, get exactly what you want and wait for it. The only thing I think about is interest rates, right?
Right.
You're not locking in.
Well, and also if you sacrifice what you want now. You're going to pay more
Yeah.
for it aftermarket, and even more because of what's happening in our world right now.
Right. But it's like real estate. You know, we
It's just
say you have
gonna-
price protection if you should have
Yeah,
it.
there's
if you've
no price
ordered.
protection if you.
But you have price protection
Leave it.
on this existing order.
Yes, on
Sure,
that. But what
interest
I'm
rates are-
saying is, if you start whittling down what you want,
Yeah.
there's no price protection in that.
But it's just like real estate. People say, well, I'm gonna wait for prices to come down before I buy again. But if the rates are higher, it's an offset.
Yes.
But if you
with
buy at a
that.
higher rate, you can always refi if they drop.
Yes.
But if you
right now, I don't see prices coming down for what we're talking about.
Yeah,
though.
we
Unfortunately,
we look
but
at
I'm not a,
we look at
I don't have a
metrics.
crystal ball.
Yeah, what's going to come down, in our humble opinion, and this is not financial advice, but what we look at is what's going to come down is the unusual, unhealthy appreciation each month.
Mhm.
Like in cars, let's relate this to cars and Broncos, for example, and some dealer, not all, thank God, not my dealer, but some dealers will mark, admin or a market value or whatever they call it.
They're taking
now.
advantage of it.
I'm surprised the name hasn't changed to make it feel better. But market adjustment.
Mhm.
But there are, there's that. But I think as inventory increases, it'll never go back, in my humble opinion, where it was, because dealers and manufacturers have found that there's more money to be made.
Well, and they're cutting their overhead. They don't have to carry
Floor plan
all
interest,
of that
liability,
cost
stuff
to
like
hold
that.
inventory.
Yeah. And
well, it's just like most companies now working from home. They've discovered that they don't have to have this huge office to survive. They're cutting costs.
Also, for the first time in a few years, the computer industry has slowed down, so there's less semiconductors available. So that has, in turn, helped the automotive industry and other industries as well. Some people don't realize that whether it's a Bronco, a refrigerator, or a freezer, or some Chevy product or a Jeep even, like chips. I mean, everyone's been struggling with them.
Oh yeah.
But the computer industry really, really took a lot of the semiconductors, manufacturing closing down, the whole thing. A lot more stuff comes from Russia than you think. And one of the biggest things is neon gas comes from, what's the country they're in an issue with over there? I'm drawing a blank.
I don't remember.
Anyway, I'm drawing.
My brain's fried.
Yeah,
It's been a busy week.
Yeah, it's been a busy week.
Yeah,
so
I think about it. I started.
So neon gas comes from that part of the world, right? And the conflict over there has caused issues with that. Neon gas is used in making of the wafers of semiconductors, chips, things like that. So the long and the short of it is supply, and the commodities are freeing up in one sector. Just in time manufacturing is being modified slightly. Did you know that some plants are like 90-minute inventory levels? So they have an inventory to build for 90 minutes.
So they must be making a lot of stuff.
Well, think about that.
Constantly ordering.
Well, think about if there's a hiccup in the supply.
Yeah, it's gonna delay.
So in 90 minutes, you're. So I think a lot of European companies, from what I've been reading, they tend to have more inventory, but it's still, I mean, you're not talking months, you're talking about days or weeks. But my whole point of this is, as inventory increases somewhat, it'll never go back to where it was. As it increases, then that is going to lower some of the dealer, market adjustments. That's going to soften some of the prices there. Doesn't mean you're getting it below MSRP, but it just means that if you haven't ordered a Bronco and been waiting, and your dealer is holding out, and doing the original deal that they promised with you, but if you're just going to go into a dealership and buy one off the lot, there's a really good chance that you're going to get a better deal coming up in the future, price wise. But now you have the interest on top of that, and interest just went up 3/4 of a basis point again today. Ukraine, 4 high, 4 low. Thank you, man. My brain's like. So, it's like, well, you get one thing starting to get normalized, and then some other garbage happens somewhere. And so, you're dealing with a lot of that. But hey, I'm gone in 60. What's going on? We showed your video earlier. of that awesome looking black top on that sharp looking Outer Banks Cactus
like
Gray Bronco. That thing
it
is
looks really
sharp.
nice. So Bronco 78, to answer your question, he had asked what was the one thing that I learned that sticks out the most to me was how to use all of those buttons on the dash, all of the different modes, or the 7, what do you call them? I can't think. I'm so tired right now. Not the goat modes, but sway, stay bar, disconnect, the front and rear lockers, trail turn assist, and what else is up there?
Well, it depends. You were in the Badlands, right?
Yep, Sasquatch Badlands.
So you have stay bar disconnect.
All the hero switches.
You have trail turn assist, front and rear locker.
But there's something else.
Your emergency flashers.
Yeah, but there's 7, I thought. 7 1. I don't know. No. But anyways, my bad.
Wait a minute. Trail turn assist, front rear locker.
They're the hero switches.
Uh-oh.
I am so tired right now, guys.
All right. Somebody run out to your Bronco real quick and look at the hero switches. So there's trail turn assist, front rear locker. Yeah, well, if you don't have a Badlands, you get the Nuggy sauce holder.
Yeah.
Nugget.
The picture.
Nugget.
So there's only 5 buttons.
Holder. Yeah.
Oh, no, that is the Nuggy. So
right. So that was the trail turn assist.
No, that's
no.
Stay bar
disconnect. Trail turn assist, front and rear locker.
No, trail turn assist is over here. Front and rear lockers, and then trail turn assist.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't know. But anyways, how to use those buttons, okay, when to use those buttons, and then the dial there, like what mode does what.
Is one traction control?
Yeah. Slippery. Is it slippery? I think it's a slippery one, the traction control.
1 foot drive. No, Ryan, that is a...
that's on the dial.
That's on the dial itself.
In the middle. It's one touch, and you turn that on, and that's
Can
really
you zoom
cool.
in on that right there? Uh-oh. You lost it.
Dang it.
So it's trail turn assist, right? That would be stay bar disconnect right there. Trail turn assist, front and rear locker.
No, trail turn assist is further down. It's not that one.
I'm not going to argue with her because I'm not sleeping on the couch tomorrow night too. Let's see here.
It's the traction. It's the slippery thing. That's what it is. So this is but that is front and rear locker.
Oh, there you go.
No, that's front locker. And then that's rear locker, and that's trail turn assist.
Yeah, and traction. So I was right.
Yeah, and the slippery button or whatever. Traction.
You can admit it. I was right.
No, because you're saying trail turn assist is one of the top ones. And
collectively, I've got the quantity right.
So to get back on subject, sorry, we totally veered off with the shiny squirrel syndrome here, but how to use those buttons, when to use them, and then the dial, like what mode to use, and also like when you're switching from 4-wheel drive, do you have to put it in park or neutral rather, or can you do it on the fly? So they taught us that, which is really helpful. All
right, Ryan and Pezhead 1, 2, 3, you're both right. So yes, that was the other two. Thank you. So I'm going in 60s here. Let's see if we can. You want to try to do this again? If we can. Here, let's try to look at this again. So look at that top. Man, that thing
looks
is
really nice.
Sharp.
I like that.
So the one thing that's really cool, let's jump back on this. We are having the shiny squirrel stuff tonight. We're talking about 4 or 5 things. But just in case you don't like everything we're talking about, wait a minute, and it'll be a new subject. So the Cactus Gray Outer Banks is sharp looking. But the painted top, man.
That looks really nice. I like that way better than the matte, honestly.
Yeah. But I like the MIC too. I mean, I don't have an issue with it.
No, but that just looks richer.
Well, like I said, my comment earlier was it kind of looks like that's how it was supposed to.
Yeah, it does.
However, let me play. Was it devil's advocate or whatever it is?
Yes, it is.
I don't like saying that. I like the fact that now we have we have the carbonized gray grill. It's really not the same. But if you look at the molded in color look, fender flares, the top, right, the mirrors, the grab handles, everything matches.
It does.
So when you paint the top, you almost feel like you want to start painting the other stuff, right?
But the other stuff is inside. The top is the top.
No, you're right. You're right.
I think it looks really good.
There we go. I'm going to 60 said, I got tired of waiting to see if Ford was ever going to release the painted top. So you did it yourself. I like that, man. That's cool. So like I said, head on over to I'm going to 60 after our live stream and check out that video, like it, and subscribe to his channel. Pretty cool stuff over there as well. And he's been a long-time subscriber over here. And thank you very much. We appreciate you. No, I saw that video the other day. I was like, dang, man, this actually looks really good.
Yeah, it does. He was telling me about it.
And then the Heritage spy photos with that painted top. So it's like you're starting to see them pop up, whether it's people doing them themselves or now new trims. So the Heritage would be the first trim to ever come, if it does, to come with a painted black top.
Right. I like it.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, and one other cool feature that we discovered on the Ladies Bronco Off-Roadeo, and I think you guys discovered this too, was the trail assist. Not trail turn assist, but gosh, I can't think of the true name of it, but it's essentially
trail control.
Yeah, trail control. Yeah. It is cruise control going up or down the mountain. It is cool.
Yeah, one pedal. So
you just touch a button.
Yeah.
And you set your speed, and it's awesome.
And that's the thing too. And so if you can mash the button and take it right off if you want to. But you know, the best thing about that is, especially if you're a newbie going down, well, even if you're going up a hill, is the fact that losing momentum by breaking traction is the worst thing you can do. Giving too much brake, causing the wheels to lock up, or too much throttle, causing tires to spin. So when you use that in that constant sort of torque feel there, you know, and it gives you a little bit more control.
It was cool. And the one pedal thing is really neat. So, and the one pedal, for those that don't know, it takes the place of the left foot brake.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Ryan said, I bet Heritage will get a special color like the Everglades and Raptor. What color do we think it will be? Well, you know, I'm pretty sure it'll be that. I don't know if that's what they call it, the baby bird robin egg, that light blue.
Robin egg blue.
Robin egg blue.
Maybe.
I think
I don't know what the actual name is.
Yeah, I think that's the color.
It's really pretty.
Whatever it is, that light blue. I think that would be it. I don't know if they're going to release that. I think there's some talk. Maybe maybe that color gets added to the entire Bronco, you know, all the trim levels. But I would think that sort of really retro color would go hand in hand with the retro kind of a theme, right?
And by the way, in base camp in Texas, which was a really neat place, they had hoods of colors, and I assumed that this one color was like a coral. It was from the past. Man, it was so pretty. It looked like nail polish.
Yeah.
Like this orangey, reddish. It was just a beautiful color. I would love to see them bring some of those back.
Yeah. I'm going in 60. Yeah. Yes, sir. Anytime. My pleasure. Let's see. Bronco 78 said, a lot of people in my area are painting their hard top to match the body color. I have seen one in our area. I can't say I've seen a lot, but I have seen one in our area. You know, the young lady that got the white soft top Badlands Sasquatch that we saw at the softball field? She's actually replaced one of the letters in the front. They did the red R in it, and just a subtle little change. I saw her sitting at the light today when I was coming home, and I was like, dang, man, that red R just jumps
pops out, huh?
And by the way, I don't know if she ever was watching or is still watching, but I talked to Rebecca today, who is a Von Gittin Jr. fan. Hello, if you're watching. We talked about the Bronco for a second, and she's sort of a Von Gittin fan, so kind of ultimately Bronco, you know. Robin's egg blue with the white top.
That would be really sweet.
That would be sweet.
I think that one Heritage edition that you saw did have that color scheme, didn't it?
I think it was. Well, you know,
I'm not sure.
Ford's good at sort of teasing the, you know, sending out the vehicles for spy photos.
Yeah, you know, I know like, they do teasers like that to throw
you know,
off.
and so like the wheels,
to keep you guessing, keep you talking.
The 4-slot wheels, you know, they're not exactly Everglades wheels, like I did say in my video, and I had to edit it because I was like, they're not the same. like I think 6 slots are in the Everglades wheel, sort of these old retro, and then they have sort of the bolt or rivet look. But on the Heritage, it's a simple, very simple wheel that's made to look like an old Steely, and 4 slots in it, and these little long, and it's a very simple wheel. And that's what I'm thinking. Okay, all right, not bad if that's what they put on them. Okay, I mean I can live with it, but I can't believe that's the wheel for the Heritage. Or is that? And I said this in a video we uploaded. Is that one wheel of maybe 2 or 3 options?
I would suspect that they're going to have options.
And if they're going to have 2 Heritage, a Heritage and a Heritage
Yeah,
Limited,
they're going to have.
seems like there's going to be.
I would suspect they're going to have different options.
Maybe that's the wheel on the Heritage, and the Heritage Limited get some really fancy type wheel.
Yeah, well, limited editions normally are super special.
All right, let's see here. We're going to be wrapping this up in about maybe, what time is it? It's
9:52.
How about another 10 minutes, and then we'll call it from there.
It's
so
been
don't
a
go
heck
to
of a week.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for all the videos from the Ladies Off-Roadeo.
Yeah, we're trying. I haven't done a lot of videos recently, and I'm trying to get all of the things we're working out. We do have 2 manufacturers that send us products for review, and we're excited to do those. We didn't want to do them in kind of a rushed manner. That wouldn't be fair to them. So I think this weekend we'll try to get. I said it like 2 weeks ago, and then I forgot she was going out of town.
Oh my gosh! And it's been a whirlwind.
It's been a whirlwind.
It's to think about it. Kelly and I were in happy hour a week ago tonight, preparing for our big day tomorrow. It was just amazing.
Yeah, and so my thing. We mean tomorrow? Oh, you mean the
off-roadeo?
Yeah, the last week. Yeah, and I don't know. I kind of look at this stuff as if a manufacturer is going to send us something to review, I'm going to, they're owed the time, the proper review, and we're not going to rush through it.
Right.
So
I agree.
We just rescheduled it, and we're going to do the one this weekend and maybe one next week. Overlanding for fun when we see the Eddie Bauer Bronco edition. I don't know if that partnership's still out there anyway. I mean, it would be cool. That would then tie back sort of the 90s into it, I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
how long
licensing.
did that go for, because our 2004 expedition was Eddie Bauer,
We
and
had
I
Eddie
don't
Bauer.
recall like how long
I haven't seen anything
level
Eddie
was
Bauer
there.
till maybe a couple, 3 years after that. I don't know when it expired. I'm just saying what I remember.
know.
But a lot of these things are licensing agreements, and after a while they expire. I'm assuming, and then I'm thinking if you're in the market right now, would the name Eddie Bauer on one move the needle for that new buyer to buy one? I mean, I think for someone like me, I might, I would remember it and think, okay, cool. It would be a trigger.
But is Eddie Bauer that prevalent anymore?
I
think it's lost its luster a little bit. That's just my perception.
Yeah.
I'm not a.
I'm an Eddie Bauer fan. I'm just saying, do you connect it to vehicles now? And it would be cool. So that's a good point. If they brought it back, wouldn't that be cool?
Eddie Bauer even had car seats back in the day because we had them for Haley.
Yeah, we did. In your Eddie Bauer expedition, which,
fun.
by the way, was one of the best vehicles we have ever owned.
Yeah,
I will say that.
It was a gem. Bessie.
Let's see if map can only do 12 colors. All these special edition colors be taken away from the standard Bronco colors. No, Bronco 78. You're right. Now here's the thing. I've listened to other people talk about the maximum colors that map can do. I don't have any firsthand knowledge of that. But I'm if they know, they know. I believe them. But I'm just saying I don't know. So I don't know what they could change to gain, more colors there. I know that, like I said, we talked about the Jeep dealership down the road from us looks like a Skittles bag. Not right now though. Now it looks like I don't know what
Skittles spill.
No, right now it looks like it's earth tone colors. There's a lot of tan, a lot of brown, grays, blacks, few whites, few blacks. But mainly it's your grays. There's a lot of gray, like granites kind of stuff, like carbonized colors there. I don't know why I think there was one blue one on the lot, but I mean, earlier in the year, and it's seasonal. I think Dave was talking about that seasonal, and different times of the year, and also summer months. People are buying all the real cool, fun colors, things like that. But even on the truck the other day, I passed the delivery truck loaded down with Jeep Wranglers on the back, and they were all sort of the white, black, gray, tan kind of colors there. How the heck we get called? Oh, we got on talking about mapping the colors. I have no idea how many they can paint. I could see Cyber Orange going away. I could see Area 51 going away, even though there's that. I was watching All Terrain's video on the Everglades, and he showed one that I think the Ford Authority had. It was an Area 51 two-door. So either they just painted a vehicle and it's not going to be the color, or that color's not going anywhere. Who knows? So Bronco 78, I wish I could answer that question, but I have no clue. Oh, let's see. All right. So your trip, we're gonna finish up tonight with Becky's trip to Texas. Mm-hmm. You like Texas.
I love
So Texas. How was your flight, other than it being nasty
early? It was wicked early.
So we woke up. Oh my we left here at like 2:40.
Yeah, because
went to the airport.
The flight left at 5:15. And after hearing that security was taking a while to get there because of shortages and blah blah blah, decided to get there the full 2 hours in advance. Well, that meant 3:15, which I was actually there on time at 3:15. However, to my astonishment, the baggage counter didn't even open until 3:45, which was interesting that they want you to be there 2 hours ahead of time, but then they're not even open.
Yeah, then I felt bad. I was like,
he said, "Do you want me to come back and hang out?" I was like, "No, it's fine." But it's a good thing I sat in line or stood in line because the line, by the time I finally got to the place to drop my bag off, it was like a mile long. Like, and if I would have been at the end of the line, I would have been late.
Right. So then you flew from there and you went to Chicago.
Midway. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you
uneventful. Everything was on time.
And you made it down to Texas.
Although I froze on the plane, it was so cold going there. It was like a meat locker.
So so for those going to Texas Off-Roadeo, when you land in Austin, you get your rental car and you're leaving. How's the drive?
Oh, it's fine. It's like an hour, 15 hour, 30 minutes. We took a few minutes off the beaten path to make a little stop, but it was easy. Yeah. It was easy. We grabbed lunch along the way, and then we did one little fun thing that afternoon while we were waiting to check into our hotel in Marble Falls.
And then you went to Off-Roadeo the next day. Half the day was...
Well, wait, rewind, because Wednesday night when we did the live stream with you, it was a happy hour at what's the resort? What is it called? I can't even think of it right now. I'm so tired.
Horseshoe Bay.
Yes, Horseshoe Bay. So it was on site there because that was the sponsor hotel for the event, which was beautiful. We just opted to save just a little bit and to stay 15 minutes away.
Oh, Horseshoe Bay is high end too. That place is nice.
Very high end.
Very nice.
Everything was great, and they did all the food for the event, which was amazing.
Yeah, the food was good when we were there. So you had the meet and greet, and then the next day, half the day was spent doing sort of tech introduction.
Yes.
Learning what all the buttons are.
Well, let's just do a quick little rundown. So we get there, they fed us breakfast again, great food. And so then, yes, they explained the history, a lot of how the Bronco came about, and just explained a little bit of that, and then educated us on the Bronco, just the basics of driving on off-road trails, and the features and all that stuff. And then we did a little of they call it, I think it's the OFX course. Like it's just a teaser of the obstacles that you're going to experience while out on the trails, and how to use your rear lockers, your front lockers, and when to use that stuff. And then after we did that, we went and had lunch, and then it was out on the trail where everybody got in their own vehicle, or own Bronco rather.
And had fun.
Yes, it was great.
So you're looking forward to New Hampshire?
Yeah, I am. And we'll be fighting over who gets to drive more.
No, I'll have to film, so it'll be you driving more. Hey, by the way, Phenom Unit said Everglades two-door ? Well, here's the thing, and maybe I'm missing the obvious on this, but I would say that the two doors are, for a lot of reasons, they built less two doors. I mean, there's less of a take rate, I think. Two doors are cool.
I think they
Don't
look
get
pretty
mad at me.
sweet,
I like
though.
them. They are sort of that
They're very
OG
sporty.
kind of, yeah.
They're sporty.
But they're not practical if you have kids.
No, and
I mean,
we
yours
really
back seat.
okay. So we had the Area 51 2021 Bronco, and then we got the 2022 Everglades, and not Everglades. Oh my gosh, Eruption Green. I can't even think. And I told Dwayne, I said, you know what? I think we just need to mix it up a bit. Let's sell the Eruption Green, and we'll get a 2-door in its place. But after driving the 4-door, I don't know that I could downsize to a 2-door. We had talked about it, and I said, well, the kids are getting older. We don't really have to have 4 doors. We already have several other 4-door vehicles. We can have fun with the 2-door. But it really does cut down on the storage space in the back. It's smaller, and it's not as practical, I think.
Right.
So we're going to split the 4-door.
Ryan said, is there a reason the Everglades doesn't seem like a huge hit? Peeps were locked in price, and otherwise switch meant that you lost your price protection, not to mention that you'd opened, you're only open to reservation holders. So the open to reservation holders, I think, was sort of that, hey, I know you've been waiting. We're introducing a new trim. We don't want to throw salt on a wound kind of a thing. So we want to offer it, just like the Bronco Raptor, to people who's already been waiting. But then there again, certain dealers great, certain dealers not. And then you opt for it, you take it, and then you find out there's a big markup on the other end, and now you're out of everything. And I don't think that's cool. I think that needs to be, if you know what you're getting, you know what the price is, and go for it. And our doggy's calling us, so our live stream's getting ready to fin. But to answer your question, I think the snorkel's not for everyone. Obviously, it's that, I just if you look at the snorkels on the road.
And what you're going to do with it.
Right. It's a cool looking vehicle. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I said publicly, I like it. I think it's a neat little deal.
But,
But you get the slide out tailgate.
Yeah, which is cool, but is it worth extra money? So you have the 2.3 rather than the 2.7.
Which is nothing wrong with that. Some people want that.
But you have to do a cost benefit analysis. Is that special color and snorkel worth more than buying a 2.3 in the regular Bronco?
Right. Well, and so you do the marine grade vinyl. If you add the hard top, the roof racks, the slide out tailgate, and the biggest thing is you get the squared off fenders. Right. So you have these different fenders that you get on any of the other.
Yeah, I feel like the fenders on the Everglades.
Right. So there's more there than just that. Also, the extra water fording gives you a little bit more depth.
Yes. If you intend to use it in that manner. I don't ever see myself going through that much water. Honestly, who knows what could happen, but I might eat my words someday.
Oh, let's see here. We're going to do a couple more of these, and we're going to wrap it up because we have a little 9-week-old lab that needs to go out. They should have dropped the Everglades first and saved the Raptor for 2023. There again, Bronco 78, 2023 probably. If you look at summer of 22 on it, now you're seeing August, which is technically, if you get it in August, you got it summer of 22. But if we don't have a build date yet, we're getting ours fall of 22. So that's a good thing for you. Saves up some.
It's fine. We don't have to have it. I mean, I'm excited. And honestly, I cannot wait until we get to do the off-roadeo for that.
Well, and that's going to be a little bit different type scenario. Hey, by the way, awesome. I think we're going to try to pull some information on this. There's a Bronco registry coming, just like the Mustang one.
Oh, cool. That'd be neat.
Ford Bronco registry, by the way. Let's see. I'm going to 67. Let's pop this up here. Everybody can see it. I love the way the 2-door looks, more like 66 Bronco that we have. We have 4 dogs, and our smallest dog is 60 pounds. So the 4-door is for us. I get it, the 2-door, but I also understand the 4-door.
Well, and with kids and dogs, and so we have 3. 2 of which primarily will be venturing out with us. 1 maybe not so much, but the space issues are huge with the 2-door. But and I have a question for you. I'm going to 60. Have you purchased any kind of seat covering for your? I think you might have marine grade vinyl, or am I wrong? To protect your seats with the dogs, because it sounds like you have larger dogs, and so do we. Even though it is marine grade, I don't want to risk puncturing the seats with their nails. What do you have?
Yep. Overlanding for Fun said the slide out tailgate is stupid. Video coming soon. Well, now you've got my interest. Good marketing,
Yeah,
sir.
because we like that.
So yeah, we like that. Man, hurt my feelings. So
It'll really hurt Gavin's feelings. He liked that.
no, I will check out your video and see your point of view. Maybe you might have a valid point there. I mean, I think here's the thing: would I wait for the slide out tailgate to get my Bronco? Nope. But if it came in it, is it a cool feature? I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you why. It's one of the easiest cool features about it is, so you have a roof rack and you stand on that to gain extra height to tie something down on the back of the Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
You can stand in the driver's side door, passenger side door, and do it in the front. I know that's a weak point. I'm digging. I get it, but it's just one of the cool factors.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you from someone that's actually got the use one in a way of like moving it in and out, but it's a solid piece. I will tell you that. When Gavin and I did that little short that's here on our channel, but I do get it. What else are you going to do with it besides pull it out and sit on it?
You know what it reminds me of? You know that little stair that pulls out from the back of your tailgate on your F-250?
Yeah, my F-250,
yeah. Little, it even has a little handrail and everything. So it's like a step into the back. So Phone Me Unit, did I say that right? Yeah, WeatherTech, that's what you're mentioning about good seat covers. I haven't looked into those yet. I'm a fan of WeatherTech floor mats, though, so I'll definitely have to look into that for the dogs.
Yeah.
I do have something
Rear
that I
seat
use now.
delete.
I do have something that I use now. So I just need to find out the best one.
How about a rear seat delete? That's pretty cool. So
yeah, wouldn't work for us though.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, guys, I'm going to say goodbye and go stab a howling puppy, I guess.
Oh, WeatherTech has good seat covers.
No, that's what I was just talking about.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was reading when you were talking. No, I was thought you were on the rear seat.
Nanu.
I never listen to you, right?
I know.
Yeah. Now I gotta figure
All
it
right.
out.
Well, it was fun talking with you guys. I hope that you have a great night, great week, and we can't wait to drop the videos from the Ladies Bronco Off-Roadeo.
It's going to be fun. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to wrap this up here.
All right.
Go take care of my little
bye guys.
Little lab. All right, everyone. So she's left me in charge. So that means technology, and we'll have the smoke come out of the computer in a minute. So Ryan says bye. Let's see, Ryan. If you build an Everglades, it's not standard, but yeah. Oh, Carhartt makes seat covers. Let's see what else. I have the cover for the back seats. I'm going to 67. Let's pop this up here. Might as well get with the times, right? I have the seat cover for the back seats. It works really well. Amazon has a ton of them, but check the ratings. Some are so thin, flimsy. I get it, and that's part of the big thing. You want to make sure it's thick enough to keep the old nails from going through. Leather seats, caught marine grade vinyls. Yeah, so our biggest thing is the marine grade vinyl. It's cool. We love it and all that, but I just don't think dog toenails are going to I don't think they're going to keep the toenails from like going through it, right? So that is my only beef with bringing the dogs in it right now. But seat covers coming soon. Take care of it. Not a big deal. All right, so we're going to keep digging on this we're going to keep digging on the Heritage Edition, see what comes up on that. Any other news, if there's any news on the Bronco Raptor build date, obviously we'll do a video on that. Hopefully the economy finds the bottom so that we're not too stressed out. But other than that, I think, man, life is good. A lot more people getting their Broncos. It was great seeing Brian got his tonight. Other people are getting them. I'm seeing it on social media quite a bit. So some commodities are freed up. Broncos are being delivered. And that's all great news for everyone. Let's see what happens when the order banks open. So that'll be a good deal. So, big special thanks to everyone at Ford and the Bronco Nation and Bronco Off-Roadeo for a great event. Becky had a blast. So thank you all, and Shelby and Amy and everyone involved with the project. That was awesome. And I got to tell you, she talks about it every day. So you friend for life, so to speak. All right, everyone, I'm out. Hey, have a great week. Be successful. Be safe. Take care. And look us up on Instagram if you haven't already. If you're watching this right now and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. Like the video for tonight. I definitely like the video because that'll push us out to more people. And head on over to Instagram and and follow us there and message me, send you pictures of your Bronco, anything there. Would like to stay in touch. And that's awesome. Have a good night, everyone. See you.